Hello, and welcome to Star Wars Legends Podcast. Where am I? I think you know this room. But let's get the guest hosts in here. We got Dylan. Oh my god, Dylan.
This was a terrible idea.
It's not my fault you put your stuff in a pile of Matt's stuff. And we got Matt Wilkins. Yeah, welcome to our...
I got this shirt!
Yeah, I got him that shirt for his birthday.
It's got an Ewok on it! That's why he can come over. He buys me stuff.
I do. It was like a whole... Let's be honest right now. It was a whole Oprah thing going on at your house today. Giving each other... Oh, Dylan! Oh my god, you're making all...
Camera. Here, I'm halfway off. There, look at you. In the frame. There we go. That works.
Eat your cheese puffs. Anyway, we're here, getting ready for Gen Con.
Woo!
Yeah. We're in the famous Matt's Expanded Universe room.
Home to the most complete fan collection of Star Wars fiction known to man.
Ever.
Legends fiction.
But
I want to say that Dylan and Jeremy, when I was they're staying in the guest room, where I filmed the scene where Yub hung the bear.
yeah,
Actually.
I think it's haunted by
And
the
that's
bear.
actually the bed that I wake up in Matt's Expanded Universe, by the way, when I get up for the covers. You're not going to be sleeping in that bed. That's funny. Like, that's a famous place now. But, anyway, they passed by this room and both of them were like, is that the room? So, yeah, what do you think of the collection?
Well, when you were handing me things like, "Oh, I have this. Oh, I have that," and I'm like trying not to drool on your books. It was insane.
Yeah. And we did some Oprah stuff. I gave some stuff.
I gave him that, but that was a late birthday present. I gave him a shirt, but he won't wear it.
And
Well,
so
I'll wear it
he's
at Gen
ungrateful.
Con.
He's ungrateful.
Yeah, well,
I'm wearing this at Gen Con. Hey, if you want to see me at Gen Con, I'm the guy with the Ewok shirt on.
He's gonna wear it all 4
all
days.
4 days.
He's not gonna
that thing's gonna reek.
Love this shirt. I'm definitely wearing this shirt at Gen Con. I don't know what day yet, but it's definitely going. The day that most people can see it. My left main button.
So yeah, we're in Matt's hometown where I can buy beer, iced tea, and chips for the same price I would buy beer in California.
Nice to be a cheap town.
It's-
Our gas prices are a little bit cheaper too.
You mean like $3 cheaper?
$1.71 here in Louisiana right now. So if you have it cheaper, let me know. I'm not saying we're the cheapest. I'm just saying we're one of the cheapest.
Yeah.
But anyway, Dylan likes to eat cheese puffs all the time, so I guess he's not going to be much of a talker in this
Well,
episode.
Dylan's the one who wanted to talk about things.
Well, no, I was the one that said we should probably get this out of the way now so we can do board games tomorrow.
I'm good.
Is that a chat room? People can chat to us?
No, that's us privately.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
So we won't get any chats.
Here, let's start a chat going. Let's actually start chatting with each other.
I don't. Dylan's. Oh my God.
You should open up the chat. Anyway.
We can't now. Let's get into the main topic today, which Dylan.
Well, it was a main topic that I sent out to them in the future. We knew we were going to record this, so I'm like, hey, could you all read this article so we can, talk about it and what's happening? And 2 of us actually do homework around here, and
I'm sorry, I was ill when you gave it to me, and so I.
What are you talking about?
well, from
I read the article.
No, I didn't read it.
Oh.
yeah, that's why I said 2 of us. Man, I don't know if you knew this, but 1 + 1 = 2. I know it's been a while since you took kindergarten.
Ooh.
Rough.
Wow. Because I just graduated.
Anyway, Friendwire Studios, who, if you don't, that's what the shirt. If you haven't been keeping up with news, they recently came out that they were going to make a fan-made Battlefront sequel that was going to be on Steam.
Oh
for
yeah, we
free.
talked about this.
It was going to be based off the Battlefront 3, what they had from the original with the originals.
With GameSpot
Yeah,
and
free.
all them.
Yeah, games and all that.
What?
Well,
Go ahead.
what?
No, I was going to say what free speech here is trying to say is that they got nixed by EA, right?
Well,
Actually, it was Lucasfilm that gave them the cease and desist. They talked to Lucasfilm. We said they were very nice, but they couldn't do anything because they had given the rights to EA, and EA was the one blocking it, even though they would be fine with a free fan thing. I haven't seen any screenshots or anything from this outside of what's in that. I saw some of the clips at the bottom. But have you seen the game?
We saw not what this would have been, but what Battlefront 3 was going to be got
and
leaked.
still images.
Still
from what
images.
they were
We
doing.
saw some video.
Mm.
Remember that? That was a
I didn't
while
see
ago.
I didn't see the video from it.
Um,
From what they were doing. I saw
Yeah.
the video from the Battlefront.
but you remember a time when LucasArts was a thing and they let other companies make games for them?
Well, yeah, but they signed the exclusive rights away. Now they're owned by Disney. Disney signed that contract. So he's going to change. He's going to keep the name but drop Star Wars, right?
Right. He's going to
keep the theme but not make it Star Wars.
Right. So it's going to have generic spaceships and like generic space troopers fight each other. It's going to have the same engine. It's going to have the same gameplay mechanics and all that. It just won't be a Star Wars game.
So disappointed?
Irritated.
Irritated. It was, in all honesty, it was expected, but it's still like, come on. It was going to be released for free. It's not going to hurt. Well, I mean,
Not really. Hey, they've already shot themselves in the foot with this latest Battlefront. No one likes it.
in my opinion,
You know how much it's worth in trading at GameStop? $4.
Really?
Yeah, it's cheap. It's really cheap to get the vanilla
half off
Battlefront.
almost the entire time. What I think they're doing with this is kind of what we saw in the mid 2000s with the sports genre, where they're trying to get rid of all competition so that they can basically put out an inferior product and people will have to buy it.
Mhm.
That's my read on this, personally.
That's the EA way of doing things. I mean, what was the last good EA game?
I don't know.
Was it Battlefield 3?
NCAA 09.
But Battlefield 3 came out after that, though.
NCAA 09. I never played Battlefield.
That was a good game, probably because Call of Duty is so stale at this point.
Haven't they become the bane of the video game world now?
Oh yeah, everyone hates EA.
Everyone hates
Yeah, didn't they win like the worst company in the world thing like 3 or 4 years in a row?
You don't get crazy on me for this. I mean, I'm just saying that I don't think they're well loved.
Yeah.
Is there an award for who gets
I think there is.
Yeah, there was like
Wow.
they won it like 3 or 4 times in a row, and like it actually
They
was funny.
changed it to the EA award now.
It's actually funny because like the second year they won it in a row, like they beat out Bank of America. So like no. So the guy like so one of the people behind EA made like a passive aggressive. You can actually look at this is all true. You can look this up. He made like a passive aggressive like, yeah, sure, we're worse than like, and then like listed off all the bad things Bank of America did and like all things like, yeah, but sure, we're worse than that. Like, well, I mean, the perception you give off.
But I mean, how do let's look at EA here for a second. Because I play a lot of video games. Dylan plays a lot of video games. I know you don't really anymore.
I don't really.
But EA makes broken games. They make games where they don't work on launch day. They just don't function. Battlefield Hardline was so bad that all its DLC, they realized they weren't going to make any money off of it, so they released it for free. Battlefront, they've broken the game so many times that no one plays it anymore. I mean, they nerf characters, and then they realize that sucks, so they just make them more broken. I mean, Darth Vader can force choke you from like 20 feet away. And it's instant death. You can't get out of that. You're a goner. The The A-Wing has a hit detection box that's twice the size of it. Found that out the hard way.
Just building up reasons I don't play video games anymore.
Every
That's all that's doing.
you
There's
know,
a consumerist poll. Those companies in America.
EA, it's in the DLC.
I thought it was in the game.
No,
No,
not
it's in the
anymore.
DLC.
It hasn't been in the game in a while.
EA, it's in the game.
My game will need DLC. Because I just
Or EA Games challenge your wallet to pay.
By the way, Dylan's eating cheese balls right now.
I'm drinking Heineken.
Dylan, how many cheese balls can you fit in your mouth?
Probably 1 or 2.
Put all of them in your mouth right now. Put them in your mouth.
No, this isn't going to be.
Put it in your face hole. Put it in
Anyway,
put it in the cheese ball hole.
Well, put it somewhere where you'll see those hamsters that disappear.
I only have 2 left actually.
We're talking about hamsters or cheese balls.
No, I'm Lance Armstrong.
So this is the stuff I type while they're doing the podcast. This is stuff I type. Where they go, I'm not saying that,
You
man.
completely missed.
I'm not saying
Matt,
that.
you completely missed my joke.
No, I got it. This Lance Armstrong. This one.
I know. Anyway,
So on to our other topic, because, you know...
Was there another one? Oh, shit.
This is supposed to be...
We got a viewer.
Oh my god, what are you doing with your life? Seriously.
why do you make fun of your viewers? I get on there and they go, oh, we got 2 people wasting their lives on this. No, you're not. I was like, hey, we got 1 viewer. Hey, viewer!
They're going to make me so much money.
And by the way, he can't ask a question because you don't have an open chat room.
No, they can.
It's garbage.
No, they can comment on the video. We'll
And
pick
then
it
we'll
up.
answer it next week when we're all back to Gen Con.
That's
Speaking of which,
garbage.
we're going to
No,
Gen
it's
Con.
not, Matt.
Answer them live.
We
Anyway,
do
go ahead.
sometimes, but we have to prepare for that.
It's like Skype. You're talking in it.
No. We've legit done live Q&As on here.
Okay.
We've done 2, and we went over like a.
What does that work?
It was great. I will say that.
Viewer, tell all your friends.
Yeah, watch my videos.
Jeremy made the Mecca.
Viewer,
Optimized
please tell all
library.
2 of your friends that we're recording right now.
Hey,
Wow.
hey! What you know? Bitch.
Okay, good job. We just doubled our viewership and we lost it. Okay, so what's the next topic?
Gen Con.
Gen Con.
Oh,
It's gonna be so good.
I can't wait. I'm super excited.
This whole flight, we'll have a can rant about my flight. Don't worry. It was horrible. It was bad. It got better when Dylan snuck up on me, which is on my Snapchat story. Follow me on Snapchat. But it got even better when Matt and his wife came and found us. As Dylan complained about how American Airlines loses everyone's luggage.
Mm-hmm.
And an anti-troll jinx thing that he does.
Did y'all ride together on the plane? Or y'all sit separately?
We had to sit. He was at the front of the plane, and I don't know why, because he got to take his last. I had to be at the back of the plane, so it took eons for me to get out of the plane, so I could hit my head on the ceiling a second time.
Save it for the can rant.
It's weird because, you know, this is the South, and I'm the person of color. But I was at the front of the plane.
What color? White is the lack of color.
I'm Hispanic.
Oh boy!
Hey, just so you know, Jim Crow laws in California were actually meant to discriminate against Hispanics and Asians. The more you know.
You know, actually, they were supposed to discriminate against your terrible hairpiece.
Right. It's all a wig.
Okay, well, they're trading words. I am super excited. I'm excited for the trip in general up there. It's a long trip, but I think it's going to be something out of National Lampoon's Vacation. I think we're going to have a lot of yucks on the road. I think we're going to have a lot of good times.
Dylan might actually, meet a girl.
Oh, that's so going to happen.
Speed dating.
Oh, that's so going to happen.
You like our waitress? Who, like, her name is Kira, and she walks away and like, you mean Kira Holt?
Oh my god, he did do that. He did that, and it embarrassed me.
What, today?
He did that. We were eating at TGI Fridays, which don't eat there.
Ah! You did it at TGI Fridays?
Yeah,
It was the only place in the airport that was like that wasn't like a fast food place that we could eat.
or a bar. I had a
And
bar
we
in
looked.
it.
We looked around for like an hour.
Which people? Texas, what a great place. I didn't know you could have so many bars in an airport. Seriously.
Anyway,
I
back to the story.
I couldn't find Chinese food, but I sure as shit found like 20 bars. What was specifically a martini bar? That's all they served.
Martini?
Yeah.
Didn't you even get sake? What kind of inhumane place is
Oh my
this?
god, the other view is back.
Or it's a different view.
Anyway.
I'm really excited for us to not go to the writers' symposium, but meet writers.
Well, we are going to meet Dave Farland.
Yeah.
Someone asked me today who the author was. Dave Wolverton is the author. He goes under Dave Farland.
Yeah.
Farland. I think that's his real name. I think Dave Wolverton was his pen name.
Mhm.
He should just brought up on. But I'm excited about meeting him.
Oh, I'm really excited.
I get to talk to them about what it's like having multiple names. You know, we've just been bonding over that.
Man, sadly there. But you're excited about the Fantasy Flight stuff. Now, a lot of
We
stuff.
both are.
Well,
Both are. You're gonna get on that?
I'm into Edge of the Empire
Oh, okay. So
And,
you gotta pick up some stuff.
and maybe some X.
because I post these in reviewers, I'm sure you all know that I review Star Wars Armada.
Some of the best reviews on reviewers, if I can be honest.
Well, I'm only like one of you, me, and Django are the only people who like actually post reviews regularly on there.
Geeks Addict does. But
Oh, that's right, Geeks Addict.
Django review. Oh God, it's work.
Yeah.
And because, you know, like you said, Django doesn't really review, and even though Matt Wilson does a great job with his reviews, since all of his reviews are new canon anyway, they're not that great because, you know, the content isn't that good.
I didn't say that out here.
Well, actually, he had a great Ghostbusters review.
Oh, you mean the one
Oh,
where
yeah.
we
It
kicked
was-
his book around his yard?
It
and
was
stomped
up there
on it?
with Dark Snovia's getting rid of all of his new canon, where he ripped it up and threw it in a
I
dumpster.
haven't seen that yet. Y'all need to show me this.
I need to find it.
That's
Dark
great.
Snovia, that was fantastic.
It's funny.
I think it's my favorite of your videos.
Anyway,
I laughed on the toilet at work.
I heard Geeks Addict though has switched positions and they are endorsing Warrior. Is that true? Warrior for president?
It's a little hush hush right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I mean, it's kind of, you know, because
It's on the Waru tapes. You know?
unfortunately, yeah, there was the whole leak of the emails and like the, you know, they were kind of rigging the election.
Yeah, Warugate, I
You know,
think is
Warugate.
what they're calling it, you know.
well, I think they're going up against this competition. Was what is it? Who's this competition?
Well, it was the person that Matt Wilson used to be promoting.
What should be
But you know,
Space 11?
All I know is we're gonna make Star Wars great again
Yeah,
and go for Warriors.
yeah. Yeah.
this September,
this September,
November.
November. Did I say September?
I'm the one who's drinking.
Hey-o. But yeah, no, I'm excited about that. I'm excited to play King's Armory, which is a tower defense game that I have wanted to play for. I wanted to play last year, but it's too busy, and I finally got a ticket for it this year. I don't know if I'll buy it, but I'm definitely interested in playing it. And any other new games, like I said, the library pick and play. People kind of make fun and say, "Why would you pay for when you go on the floor?" Yeah, but the floor, and in the beginning, those tables are packed nonstop.
Yeah.
And you can't play any of the games there. In the library, you can pick up and play just about anything. They got some great ones. They got some old stuff too. So
Yeah.
I want to play a lot of this stuff, and that's how I got a lot of my collection.
Yeah,
that I have.
right over there. You can't really see it in here because Matt doesn't want you all to see
I-
it just yet.
It's a mess right now. It needs
So
to be
it's
tamed.
it's not going to be in here.
We got too many board games at one time. And
Yeah, he's lucky he doesn't live out in
Is that
California.
the last Starfighter lunchbox?
Yes, it is.
It's in one of his videos.
And there's a
The weekly update.
Yeah, weekly rundown.
Weekly rundown, yeah.
Did we watch? Yeah, we did. We watched that
Yeah,
at the airport today.
Yeah, but it was one of the ones that has the abbreviated.
I'm doing the
intro,
short intros on them for
which I
right.
completely hate.
Well, which I'm doing for right now, but I will eventually put one on there. Watch it because you're going to see short intros pretty soon on Board Game Review.
Matt, can you just release videos that are just your intros?
Did you just want to watch the intros?
Yes.
Oh boy,
Just
intros
like-
are fun.
It'll be like I'll be like Dave Filoni, but instead of covers, I'll just watch the intros, and then that's a whole
The
watch.
intros will. I should have put it on this weekly rundown. Now that I think about it. It's been a while. I said I would do it sporadically. I will do it sporadically, but I'm cutting intros short for right now. I'm going to bring back Matt's Fan Universe intro
What are you looking at?
eventually.
It's Saga Edition. Sorry,
So
I keep getting distracted by Matt's RPG collection
I keep
because
getting distracted by all of the bears.
so many Beanie Babies in here.
yeah, I collected. I even revealed that on one of my videos. I've been collecting bears.
But I didn't know you collected that many
Well,
of them.
No one does, because what happened was I used to sell these bears back when they were worth something. And
Yeah.
it started with, well, it's kind of covered right now, but Princess Diana bear.
Yeah.
Dang, I made money off of that. We established a rule of trade at the mall, and I traded Beanie Bears for Star Wars books and all that kind of stuff. In fact, I got some of those Star Wars books from Beanie Baby Trade. And so I had a great time back in the day, but now they're worth junk.
I sell them in my store for $1.
And that's where I've got most of these for $1 to $5, I think.
Yeah. And these are the ones with tags.
These are the ones with tags, even though it doesn't matter if they have tags. I don't really care. I was like, you know what? The bears always sold the best. So we started picking a few up, and it only costs us a few bucks every time we win. So you're looking at this whole collection, and I doubt, well, obviously there's a ton. There may be 50 or 60.
Yeah.
Or,
Of
It's
the
pretty
bears
bad.
themselves.
there may be 100.
You see,
So I
I
may have spent $100 total, but I mean, it's not that much of an investment. Plus, it's just been something fun.
collected the teeny Beanie Babies that you got in McDonald's meals, and I actually had a complete collection as a kid.
I didn't collect the teenies. I don't collect anything, but Megan started picking up, the missus started picking up little bears from here and there, and then I started picking up a few here and there. They're only a couple bucks each now. They're super cheap. So I have a pretty decent collection. I've actually ordered some on eBay, paid about $5. That's the ones I paid $5 for. That's because of shipping. And just to complete some of the little sets here. Hello, blinking glasses.
I'm trying to get it out of the way so I can see the camera.
Anyway,
Like, we make fun of Django for his Funko Pop collection, but I think this is actually worse.
No, it's not. You haven't seen Django's Funko Pop collection recently.
actually, you saw a lot of the bears on one of my old videos.
Yeah,
Roto
But
invited a bunch of his friends.
but that
over.
wasn't all of them.
No, it wasn't.
I thought that was all of them.
Yeah, people don't know how many I have. They're shot off camera a lot. Well, only because I set the camera right here, right over there, but I have to zoom it in because I don't want to get too far out. I hate videos that are way far out. So you don't
Sorry.
see it. It's not on purpose. It's not on purpose. I think they've been in the background of some videos, but usually they're in places where you really can't see where the video camera set. So I do have quite a few. But I don't know, like I was thinking about the other day, there's not many more I would buy online. I think I'm pretty good with what I got. But if I find one here or there, I'll pick it up. It's just something else. I mean, something else to collect.
Because I have some of these. Like, I have the September 11th one, and I have when our troops went into Afghanistan.
Yeah. So I like you like the McDonald's one, the eBay one.
Ronald.
Ronald McDonald, the 8-inch, whatever, is probably the most expensive. Well, that one in the Pirate Bear is pretty. Roger the Jolly Pirate Bear, which I like him to get a little skull and crossbones.
Is this a Legend podcast or a cross?
This is a Beanie Baby podcast. Talk about beanies. I like Beanie Baby.
Well, he likes Ewoks, you
I
know?
do love Ewoks. Have one of my Ewoks. Dylan. Yeah, that one. We haven't seen that one yet. This is not an Ewok, it's a backpack. You guys haven't noticed.
Yeah.
I have an Ewok backpack that, you put him on, and you loop him around here and here, and he's supposed to, like, be over your shoulder or whatnot.
Kind of like the Yoda backpack.
Like the Yoda backpack, Ewok.
I really wanted a Yoda
And
backpack.
I want to take this with us to Gen Con and walk around with him. The only thing about bringing him is, where's his pocket? I don't know. He should have a pocket somewhere. I don't know. Oh, here it is. Oh, oh yeah, here it is. But he can't carry that much in his rump.
You will rip if you try to put too much in.
I mean, you can have it as a secondary backpack.
I mean, you know, like,
You could cosplay as like a.
yeah.
Oh
Anyway,
my god!
you watch backing it up.
And I'm the one who's
But anyway, I mean, like, he can carry like a little bit of stuff,
Metroid.
not too much. So I want to take him at the same time. He'd be kind of useless. And this one doesn't have a name. My wife thinks it's a stuffed animal, but it's a backpack. So I don't know if I could bring it onto the show. I don't know how I would explain this.
Wait, I'm sorry. Allegedly, Metroid inning. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Matt. So I think this is a good time to get into this. What are we reading?
Who wants to go first?
Matt, why don't you go first? Because
Yeah.
you're probably not reading anything.
I'll go first. No, I'm not. I just actually finished Sherlock Holmes, the complete edition, which I'm going to do a YouTube video on this because there's a lot of stuff I want to say on it. And I actually finished Robin Hood, last week.
Excellent.
And The Adventures of Robin Hood is phenomenal. If you have not read it, it's classic. I am reading The Dark Among the Stars by Kevin J. Anderson, the first in the sequel trilogy to the Saga of the Seven Sons stories. Which, by the way, Saga of the Seven Sons is good, not great. It's good, and this one is good. Maybe a little bit better. I don't know. I love the way Kevin J. Anderson writes. He's my favorite author.
Mm-hmm.
And these are really thick books. They're like 665 pages is the first book. I read it one day and got 50 pages in. I'm loving it. I can read a book. So that book will take me probably, I'll be done by next week. And then after that, I'll read, for the other 2 weeks, I'll read the second book in the trilogy. And then by that time, hopefully, I think September 6th, the third book comes out. So that's what I'm reading is the Kevin J. Anderson Saga of Seven Sons trilogy sequel. And then I will go into his next book, which he has 2 books releasing on the same day. The other one is Dune, The Schools of Dune, which I have the first 2. I haven't read them yet, but I am super excited about Dune because his Dune books are some of his best work. And so Schools of Dune will happen probably late September and go through November. Like 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 3. So it'll go through October. And then for November and December, I don't know yet. I did read something else that's maybe coming out soon.
We can't talk.
We can't talk about it right now.
I wish we could, because
Anyway.
I am chomping at the bit to talk about that, but time.
Another time.
Dylan, do you want to go next? Or do you want me to go next?
I don't care.
I'll go next. Well, that's cute. Not Star Wars. I started the Wish Song of Shannara by Terry Brooks.
Which I hear is phenomenal.
Yes. Following down the Olmsford bloodline, we get to the 4th generation of Olmsfords. They're the protagonists of the books. They're the heirs of the King of Shannara, of Shannara, distantly.
Okay.
They're always called upon to save the land.
I
Sort of thing.
hear it's a fantastic series.
I really love the Sword of Shannara. I love the Elfstones, but we'll get into that in my review coming in the next couple of weeks of that. And this one's really good too. I really like the characters. It really feels like a conclusion. I don't think he ever continued after that, and he just went and did prequels to the original trilogy. But I'm also reading the Marvel Star Wars comics. Got through right before I left. I read issue 20, 21. It's the storyline where they're on the wheel. Remember that? The big space wheel? The gambling casino?
Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the new Marvel
No,
stuff.
I swore that off a while ago.
Oh, okay. No, the old Marvel stuff. Yeah, that's a good one.
But the wheel's in other things. It shows up regularly.
Yes.
I think I found a contradiction, though.
In the wheel?
in the wheel because Princess Leia talks about how she lobbied against it being created. But I remember it in the prequel era. I'm pretty sure it's in Bounty Hunter.
Where did she say she lobbied against it? Oh, in the Marvel.
In the Marvel stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's in a video game. Which I know video games are as canon.
Well, who's to say it didn't get rebuilt?
Yeah, seriously. I just need to look.
Maybe argued against the rebuilding of it.
Yeah. That's a fun one. Luke's unconscious.
Yeah, those are fun. I can't wait to review
My
this
favorite part of it is C-3PO his arms bend enough to pick Luke up, carry him around. This doesn't make any sense.
Well,
But
those books were made for a different time when kids read comics. Adults didn't read comic books.
Mhm.
Comic books were just for kids, but they have some kind of nostalgic. I don't know, Crimson Jack. You know,
Crimson Jack is awesome.
he's just.
I talked about him not too long ago.
Yeah, you
His
did,
story,
actually.
yeah. Jack. I really love Jackson.
He's good.
He really
People
is.
make fun of him a lot. He's like, Green Giant Space Bunny. He's actually much more than that. He's actually a really fun character.
The only character I didn't really like was Don Juan Quixote. I mean, I like him, but he's not like.
I love Don Juan Quixote because he's from the classic tale, Canterbury. Was it Canterbury? He's from some classic.
Is he?
Yeah,
I thought he was just from this.
Oh,
okay.
Don Quixote is from the Canterbury Tales. I can't remember where he's from. That may not be it. But he's from old literature, and they just brought in a Star Wars version of him, which it was fun. It was like a Shakespearean.
He's hilarious. Starkiller Kid, all of those where he's Luke, but he's not Luke. He's still awesome.
I love
yeah.
everything, and it actually gets really good with the Nagai invasion toward the end of the book.
I have 2 more hardcovers before I get to
Well,
that.
that's right. It's gonna be a while, but the Nagai are really cool, and that invasion, which is labeled as the Forgotten War,
And Lamaya.
great story.
But also, the big thing I'm reading right now, I just hit the halfway point, is I'm reading Darth Bane Path of Destruction.
And you're loving it.
I am loving it.
There's a reason Dylan snuck up on you in the airport.
Yeah, I was so invested in this book, and Dylan, because I had planned to embarrass Dylan in public, but he snuck up on me, and I just couldn't do it.
Drew Karpyshyn in that book, and I don't know if it was the same for you, he sucks you into the character by chapter 2. Your book. I mean, you're not. It's not. Sometimes books it takes a while to kind of chisel in and get, where you're interested and invested in the character.
Yeah, that was I had that with Pierce Pecora, Kathy Tyers. It took a little bit to get in. I mean, I liked it, but it wasn't.
But I remember with Drew Karpyshyn immediately.
Yeah,
you're hooked in. That's what he does really well in those books.
My problem is I compare everything to Darth Plagueis.
These books will hold up.
They do.
They're not going to be better,
it's
but they're
different.
They're going to be good for a different reason. That's fair.
But, he lost his. He didn't believe in himself, and he lost his power, and now he's getting it back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
And I was smiling the whole time, and he was reading Fate of the Jedi, and he was laughing to himself. Weirdo.
Well, I know what scene he was reading in. He told me.
Yeah, there's a. I guess I'll get into what I'm reading now. I finished finally after like 2 pulling a bill and taking 3 weeks to read a book. Finally finished Fate of the Jedi Abyss, which I'll get to in a minute because I do have something I want to talk to
You're not as
about
bad
that book.
as Bill. He's reading a pamphlet since Reagan was in office. He was.
So I'm reading Fate of the Jedi Backlash, book 4 in the book, and I'm really liking it because there's a certain character who has been a thorn in the side to like everyone you care about, and is finally getting some comeuppance for it, and it's great. But the one thing I wanted to talk about in Abyss was My early criticism of the series was that of all the storylines that have been going on, the least interesting to me was the Ben and Luke stuff. Even when Vestara and the Lost Tribe were introduced, I still thought their storyline was more interesting than the Ben and Luke stuff. Well, this book starts picking it up with the Ben and Luke stuff and is, in my opinion, some of the best stuff. And I thought some of the other storylines that were going on were kind of starting to fall flat and I'm less interested in. Especially in the scene you've been telling me about, Matt. I got to it. And it was great.
It is great, isn't it, on the steps?
Yeah. And not just that, but we're not going to go into spoilers, but not just that, but like the build up to it and the other people as well.
I know!
Oh, it's so
the
great.
Thing is, I'm not ruining the scene. What this book does, it builds a scene just around a conversation. It is difficult. I mean, there's so much tension going on around them, but they're having this intimate talk. And honestly, this could set off a whole, PR nightmare or what. I mean, there's something big happening at that moment, but it's just, and it's
technically 3.
Well, yes, I agree. But the thing is, though, that whole scene, fantastic. And one of the best things in Fate of the Jedi.
But I do have to voice my displeasure about something that they did at the end of this book, where they got back to the roots of the Vansom era, and gave us a Luke in a weakened state, fighting people who were clearly full powered Luke would have destroyed these guys, but they put him in a weakened state and gave him some subpar adversaries to fight, and it became a challenge, which I thought was I read this part thinking, oh, don't worry, this is all these stuff.
But what Luke did prior to that was a great show of force.
Well, it was, but I read the part and just I thought we were past.
Did you get that Planet of Twilight vibe?
A little bit, yeah.
I disagree. We can't talk about the scene, obviously, because it's a spoiler.
Right.
He does something.
Well, right. No. The scene that sets up why he's in a weakened state, that's fantastic. I'm not complaining about that. I'm complaining about the using him in weakened states and having subpar adversaries fight him to build tension.
I disagree with that. Because the thing is, yes, he is in a weakened state. Yes, that puts these people on par with him. Yes, but it's not a convenient trope. As we're Planet of Twilight, they already predetermined, here's something to keep him. It was done on purpose. It serves no purpose to the storyline. Now, what Luke had done before, he can say, yeah. So anyone who travels across him, they didn't weaken him on purpose so they could have this confrontation. I think he had it backwards. I think he was already weakened, and this was the time to bring these people in.
It just did.
And he had to overcome.
In which he does. I mean, he does. Yeah. Spoiler: he does wipe the floor with these people. I mean, the series isn't going to be 9 books.
But he does it without using the force. Well, without
the
power of the force, which is nice. I like that.
I just thought it was a little bit discerning getting back to, again, me thinking okay, we're past a bit of the Vansom tropes. It was a little bit too familiar for my taste.
Who wrote that one?
That was Abyss was Denning.
Okay, then you're wrong. Denning.
If it was Christie, would you say no, or Alston? Well, Alston's infallible in my opinion. So.
All right, so is Denning in my opinion. Christie Golden, I'd give you something. No, I disagree with that. But anyway.
But again, Christie Golding is going up against Aaron Alston and Troy Kenning. So I mean, who's going to be the number 3 in that lineup?
No offense to Christie Golding.
Exactly.
Honestly,
the odds are stacked against her now.
Honestly, it's like Derek Jeter going into an All-Star game with Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle. I mean, sorry, we're gonna go Derek too. Anyway, I was gonna read John Carter of Mars. I told people that a long time ago, and the reason I haven't, it was an old reader that I have, on my old on my old tablet that I actually sold, and I can't pull up because I closed down the Sony e-readers.
Yeah.
And that was where I got my digital stuff. Now I could have they switched it over to a something else with the K, but for some reason I can't get my account open up with them. Something happened with my account. Obviously, when they get transferred, you'll lose some. I'm not really that upset because I don't think I paid but $1 for them. And I know you get them on Amazon for like $1, the whole thing. But right now, John Carter sits back on the shelf. Even though John Carter, the Amazon bundle does not give you all of them. There's one that they don't have the rights to. They can't publish. I can't remember which one it is, but I want them all. But I will eventually go back to John Carter. But right now, I'm on the Kevin J. Anderson kick, so that'll last me through most of the year. Anyway, okay, what's the next topic?
We're going to get into questions right now.
Let's do it.
Let's get into Darth Riddler, aka Dark Snoke, has 3 questions. Number 1, who do you think is the worst writer in Star Wars history and why? Matt, we'll start with you.
Come on.
Come on. Are we going to go old canon or new?
We'll go EU because
Okay.
we all know who's the worst.
You know
No.
new canon. All right. It's going to be. Who is the worst? Gosh. Tim Levin.
Dawn of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Dawn of the Jedi. It is written horribly. That third person, first person, fourth person, I don't know what he was trying to do. But it was jarring to read because you don't know when the past is going to come in. You read one paragraph about something happening, and then it goes into the past. The only reason he knows the past is he looks at her across a blade of grass. He runs across the blade to her. She smiles. Where have you been? She says. He says, I have been out. And you're like, wait, what's going on? And then I realized they were talking about the past when they do that. It's horribly written and very uninteresting. Tim Levin for me.
I consider you Tim Levin. Because I've read mostly post-Jedi stuff, I'm going to go with
You're gonna lose on this.
sorry, not new canon, the post-Jedi stuff, Barbara Hambly.
Okay.
Statistically.
Because Barbara Hambly wrote two novels, Children of the Jedi and Planet of Twilight.
Wait.
Children of the Jedi had its moments where I liked it, especially the stuff with involving Luke. I thought the other storylines were completely it was a trudge to get through the other storylines. I was basically just trying to get to them so I can get the parts about Luke. Then Planet of Twilight happens, when all the storylines are boring. I don't care about anything. And honestly, I've read this book less than a year ago, and I could not tell you more than 5 things about it.
Planet of Twilight not as good. I will agree on that. I think Children of the Jedi was actually good. All right.
Vonda McIntyre, I want to say that's like number 1 for
She
me.
created Warriors. She can't be on.
I know, that's the thing. So I'm looking over
You
here.
know what, though? A lot of people would agree with you if you're going to pick Vonda McIntyre.
Yeah, but
A lot of people.
The reason I didn't say Vaughn and McIntyre...
Tony Millionaire gets it.
Dad, you can't pick him.
Okay, why can't I pick Tony Millionaire?
Okay, if we're going to pick comics.
Okay, if we're going to pick comics... whoever-
Yeah, hold on. Who knows who Tony Millionaire is?
I have no fucking clue.
I think
If
it's
we're
a
going
phony
comics,
name for
whoever-
George R.R. Bates, which I do not think is
If we're going comics, I'm going to change my
Star
vote
Wars
to
sales.
whoever wrote Invasion.
All right,
That's
we'll
true.
change it to whoever writes for Star Wars. 90% of the people who wrote for Star Wars sales.
That's true.
Okay, next question.
I mean, garbage. If you want to read hot garbage, the Star Wars sales has some good stuff in it every once in a while. Most of it is garbage. We have most of it.
Oh, we have a theme going here. Number 2, who do you think is the most overrated writer in Star Wars history?
Good deal this time.
I'm going to get a lot of hate for this.
We are going to get a.
A lot of hate for this. Are you sure this is the right one? Because I think we've answered this. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. I'm sorry in
We
advance.
talked about this already, so I think.
It's going to be Timothy Zahn.
Oh!
I mean,
Oh!
Wow. Go ahead.
Look, Timothy Zahn is amazing. What he did for the Star Wars Expanded Universe, the Star Wars universe in general, will never be matched by any other author ever. However, in recent years, and a lot of it has to do with this whole, like, what we were talking about earlier, like I love the Zahn's books. The rest of the Expanded Universe was garbage. But, like, the people who are, like, building up Zahn and bringing down the rest of the Expanded Universe is what seals it for me. He is not overrated as a fact to pure Expanded Universe fans who love it. He's overrated by Star Wars fans in general, is what I would say.
Now everyone knows why I look off camera when people ask me questions, because you can't help but looking at that library, right?
I know, you're just like...
To check
I had
answers.
to, well, no, I had to double check to make sure.
Alright, so who's
But
your...
that would be mine.
We're going to get hate for all of these, by the way. It's not that we think they're bad. It's just they're... You said overrated. You still like Timothy Zahn.
Right.
But people build him up too much.
He,
I can agree on
this
some of
author almost made it as worst author. Matthew Stover. I hate his writing style. I absolutely despise it. He can draw out a space battle to the point where it is tedious and it takes 2 hours to read 3 pages. It is so boring. Revenge of the Sith, if it wasn't for the EU references, it would have been an awful book. Luke Skywalker, The Shadows of Endor, couldn't finish it.
You just told Matt that you killed his puppy. Like, that's what happened.
I was just saying, that's a bold one. And
That's more bold than mine.
I can make a case on Matthew
I
Stover
get the appeal.
being overrated as well. So again, I'm going to say I see his point.
And 2 of his 3 famous books, I didn't read Traitor, that's the only one I haven't read, they start the same way. They both start with space battles that draw out into tedium.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke Skywalker's Shadows of Endor technically has a prologue that's not that. It's actually pretty interesting. Then it goes into the space battle where he spends a page and a half describing how the TIE Advance works. And it just doesn't flow with the story. I don't know. I get the appeal though.
Okay.
He can write. It's just not my cup of tea.
We're all going to take people off as overrated. I mean, you really don't like Matthew Stover there.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
I can't get into his stuff.
The author I'm going to pick, this is tough. I have a few that would just outrage people. But the one I would pick, people are going to hate this. Oh gosh. Overrated, he's good. And I enjoy the book, 1 or 2 books he's written. He's written more than he wrote a very popular one, Steve Perry.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that.
And Shadows of the Empire had a lot of hype around it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good story. It's nowhere near my top 10. It's nowhere near. It wouldn't be even in my top 20. It's a good story.
You see,
because it got the video game, the soundtrack,
action,
beautiful soundtrack.
Oh,
we
yeah.
got a toy line. I have all the toys, but people got over it, and I was thinking, this isn't the best EU.
And in my opinion, his Star Wars stuff is subpar to his Aliens. His Aliens work is fantastic.
You've told me about that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, but as Star Wars, people just, they hold Shadows of the Empire on a pedestal. Besides Timothy Zahn's books, I would say Shadows of the Empire is the next thing they hold on a pedestal. And I have to say, it's good, but it's not great. It's good. I don't have any problems. I'm not going to bash it when I review it, but it's not the best. It's not the best. So, I mean, people are going to get upset because they love Shadows of the Empire, but you like Shadows of the Empire because of the game. You like it because of the toys. You liked it because, it had all this hype around it. But the story as it is not greater than a good third of the other stories. There's better stories.
I would put it on par with like Jedi Academy and all that is really good but doesn't get a lot of the praise that Shadows of the Empire does for its time.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, hard question. Good question.
Okay, well we'll get to question 3 of 12. I didn't realize he gave us 12 questions.
Let's do this.
Who's your favorite member of the Skywalker bloodline? Dylan's is Kate Skywalker.
Yes. So I'm going to add a very close second right now as I'm reading Fate of the Jedi. Alana, because she's adorable.
I say Luke. Because I'm going to go the easy way.
I'm gonna go with
I really like what they did with Luke after Return of the Jedi.
Folks, I've always been a Luke fan. I've always been a Luke fan. I still love Luke.
Yeah.
Han's cool. I love Luke. I've always been a Luke fan. And back in the day, everyone in the 80s was a Luke fan. Now they like Han Solo. It's cool to be Han Solo, but no, man, I've always loved Luke. Always loved Luke. All right.
Oh, Brian's watching. Hi, Brian.
If they adopted the New Jedi Order into a TV series, how would you like it to be done? Would you like it like Game of Thrones, or would you like it as like a animated Dave Filoni-esque series? Something like
live action.
I would honestly say go the Daredevil route. Put it on Netflix. Release it so you have multiple episodes to stream.
Yes.
I've thought really in depth. Make Vector Prime into a movie. Have it as a 2-hour pilot episode. Then go in there and you go forward. And then if that's successful, then you take Legacy of the Force.
Okay.
Then
All right. So you pick Vong. Okay. So what would be your TV series? I'm changing the question a little bit here.
Yeah.
It's a great question. By the way, Brian, guess what they're playing tonight after this? Your game. All right, Dylan. I'll go ahead and say it. I want to see the. I'd like to see the X-Wing.
Brian says you all get to
Oh,
live
yeah.
you all get to live for not getting Stackpole is overrated.
No, well, yeah.
Hey.
You can make a case on Stackpole, though.
You could, but I don't.
You could.
Stackpole's got a soft spot in my heart.
Okay, anyway.
But anyway, mine would be the X-Wing Rogue Squadron series. I would love to see that as a TV show.
Oh, that'd be good.
So Bond first. You stole my number one, but Rogue Squadron. Excuse me, Rogue Squadron. What's one you would like to see? What do we have named?
Legacy of the Force, because it's
Oh yeah, you do.
it's so hits. It
Yeah.
like really hits you in the feels. Like your feels will be. You should file a police report against Aaron Elston, Karen Travis, and Troy Denning for assaulting your feels.
That
after reading
last book is full.
Oh
of
my
heart
God.
scenes.
It's like, oh,
From the very first.
you
chapter,
hate him
From the
so
very first
much.
chapter, when you realize what Troy's doing, like quoting Young Jedi Knights, I was like, oh, it's gonna be this.
Because you hate
Let
him.
me get my Kleenex box. Hold
You
on.
hate him so much, and then so many times you're like, yeah, remember when he was good, like decent, and when he did all this, you're like, I know, don't do this to me now.
Of that fate and New Jedi Order, Legacy would probably win. It's the best ending.
Yeah,
It's the best ending. It was unbelievably good.
I think-
epic. It's an epic.
I think Legacy of the Force is ending of the greatest endings in Star Wars is second, and this is a close second only because this is the best ending ever made to Tales of the Jedi. I think that's the only ending in Star Wars that's better than it.
Oh, Tales of the Jedi was so good. Gosh!
Oh, can I change mine to Tales of the Jedi?
Yes, you can. Redemption.
Oh, it's so
You just
good.
feel the geek just pouring out. of the
Only
side.
if you explain the Dark Reaper project from the Clone Wars video game there and how Eula Qadroma was involved in that.
Well, I mean, he was an exile, but they could have been like,
And
Yeah.
the thing was, I was kind of upset. I thought Redemption, which came out years later, wasn't going to be that good. And then I finished, it's like,
it's so good.
It's the best one.
it's so good.
It's so good. It makes you glad that they didn't continue that storyline because there's no way to pick it up from there.
Dark Horse came back. You don't see that in any other continued epic trilogy, like Dark Empire. There's a reason for that, though. Then you look at what were the other ones?
Crimson Empire?
Crimson Empire 3. None of them go off on a bang like Redemption does.
I mean,
you look at Knights of the Republic War.
I mean, they tried.
Yeah.
Legacy War
Anyway,
was pretty good, but it didn't happen like years later. It happened pretty much right after that.
Right.
It should have just They should have just continued the original.
They should have done a few other things with that. But go ahead. What's the next one?
How would you feel if I asked you 20 questions that would be like an essay?
We would basically just do a podcast where we only answered your questions.
These are great questions. I haven't gotten these
Yeah.
questions on mine.
He always does this to us. He always makes sure we have questions to
It's
answer.
awesome.
I know.
What are the questions?
Let's get to number 6. I do not
That's not your text
understand.
mail.
I do not understand why Starkiller has such a big fan base. He has to be one of the most boring characters ever conceived in the Star Wars expanding universe.
Okay.
Why do you think he's popular? Because the game was so fun.
Video game
That's
protagonist.
not easy.
I mean, I was 100%ing this game last night. I was really getting into it. It's not a good story. But it's such a fun game.
It is a fun game. I put it on par with the Arkham, Batman Arkham. Batman Arkham games are so much fun. You just press a button and it does awesome cool stuff.
It's like a rhythm game, really.
Yeah, and so is Force Unleashed. And they did a bang up job with it. They didn't start killing the best character. No, he's not. But the thing is, though, he's very popular through that video game, which is a fun game, and that's the reason why.
Number 7. How do you think Batman would fare in the Star Wars universe? He would probably just stay on Coruscant and beat up thugs.
He would become a bounty hunter and be better than Boba Fett.
But you wouldn't kill.
Yeah, he wouldn't kill. He would
I
just take.
would be better than Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Because bounty hunters don't have to kill. I mean, most.
He would outsmart Jedi.
He would Cad Bane them, but it would make sense.
But they do have Batman fighting Darth Vader, a big woman or.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I know this had been asked to death, but I find this amusing. It never gets old hearing you trash the Clone Wars or Rebels. In your opinion, what do you think is the worst moment that made you rage quit the series?
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The scene with Kit Fisto when he is attacking Grievous's lair, when he gets dust in his eyes and he blinks, when Nautiloans don't have eyelids.
Probably.
But anyway,
You didn't rage quit at all.
no, I suffered through it, but I'll tell you that. Okay, go ahead.
I was going to reword it. What made you want to quit the most?
The words "stinky," "Sky Guy," and the movie. I was
That movie
I-
was so awful.
I was disappointed and embarrassed to be a Star Wars fan walking out of that theater.
Yeah.
And that was not. That was the worst thing they could have done for the Clone Wars because I was hyped up for it until I saw that movie, and then I went, "Oh, this is what we're gonna watch." And like I said before, it's not all bad. 50% of it really good. 50% of it are garbage.
I've talked about this. This is the worst scene in there. You remember how they're ripping off? Was it Jedi Prince where it's revealed that Obi-Wan had loved someone? He loved someone, and he didn't stay with them because he wanted to be part of the Jedi Order. Was that in Jedi Prince?
Who is this?
It's
Luke.
It's not Luke. It's Obi. It's talked about with Obi-Wan.
No.
But it's basically when he loves the Mandalorian queen, and he won't kill this guy that's holding her hostage. So Anakin goes, boop, 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 stab him in the back, and he goes, and Obi-Wan's like, "Oh, Anakin, like that's not wrong. You just blatantly murdered this guy in cold blood." It was.
So many things that's garbage.
When Anakin did less and it pissed Obi-Wan off more in other things.
It's so weird. Dylan took off his clothes off camera and like danced around.
I know.
Like he was on fire.
It
Tried
was-
not to look.
I mean, just remembering that gives me like PTSD of like my continuity was hurting so bad. It was like right in like the continuity, the time, you know.
Here's one thing I've heard about Clone Wars that you may could say look on the bright side. This is not Rebels.
Number 9. What do you think of the rumor of a Han Solo trilogy of movies? Do you think this is a good idea? Why or why not?
We had 2 Han Solo trilogy of books.
I'll tell you what someone said. I read an article where someone said, I just found out they're making a young Han Solo movie. Didn't they already do that? It was called Episode 4, A New Hope.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know why we have to have Han Solo even younger in the movies. It's just... No.
I mean, let's say that they were keeping everything canon. All right, let's pretend that. And they told me they were going to do a young Han Solo movie. Now, what does that make me think about? It makes me think about Dumb and Dumber 2, the prequel. It makes me think about the Young Dukes of Hazzard movie starring, what was it? I can't remember, but before they were out of the Kingdom of Dukes. All these bad, you take a classic characters and you do the Muppet Baby version of them, and they're just never as good. And it's Han Solo. I would be disappointed because who can play Harrison Ford? I mean, come on, really? I mean, I don't want to see that.
The only one who could look like Harrison Ford was River Phoenix.
And that was acceptable. That was part of a overall movie starring the real one.
Yeah.
Doing supposedly Die Hard 6 is young John McClane, old John McClane too, and they're just showing John McClane in different eras. That's probably what the movie's rumored to be. I don't mind that. If it was just young John McClane, before he became Die Hard, I would not go see that movie. I would think that'd be utter garbage because you need to have the original. The actor's the one that iconicize that character.
They define the character.
And to give someone else the role and say, here, do this, how can you not copy Han Solo? And then you keep copying him. I think that's just a bad move. But, of course, some fans are super excited about this movie, super excited about whoever the new Han Solo is. But for me, even if it was old expanded universe now, I probably still would be against those. Because generally, I don't really like the prequel with the recasting with the younger character.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Number 10. Do you believe there's any point in having an expanded universe at this point in the new canon when there's little to no room to expand on anything because they're limited to what they can write about?
Actually, I would argue that that's... Are you talking about the new canon?
Yeah, putting the EU in the new canon.
Oh,
like how they put Thrawn in there.
I'm against that in the first place, but
make your own character. Seriously, it's not that. I guess it is difficult. Well,
I mean, they've made some characters. You talk about the people they made from Rebels, but the thing is though that to borrow from the old, when you said that was the reason they were hindering your creativity, then now you're borrowing from them so much. And I mean, they did say, they did say they were going to take pieces of it. I thought they meant planets and starships. I know they story plot lines and characters.
I mean, they did. Like Nar Shaddaa is new canon as well.
But that's just me, Dylan.
Yeah, it's just how much are you gonna? Like you guys said, you got rid of it for a reason. And I see a lot of people going like, "Oh, good, they're gonna take the best parts of the expanded universe." Like, it's such a blatant thing to say because, in my opinion, if they were to take the best parts of the expanded universe, they would be taking about 95% of the expanded universe. But that's completely subjective of what you consider the best part. I know a lot of people. Who's a polarizing character?
Warren.
Oh no, obviously. How about Karen Travis? Completely polarizing author with who has character like half.
You were either with her or against her, or are we talking characters?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's a polarizing author too.
I mean, I'm trying to think of a polarizing character like that like a lot of people think is good, a lot of people think is bad. But when you say like you're going to take the best parts of it,
Admiral Dalla.
Yeah,
people don't like Admiral Dalla.
Most people don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say that for a lot of Anderson's characters. A lot of people don't.
That's true.
I'm listening
I know. We all know this.
to you. All right, next question. It's a good question.
Please don't hate me on this. I know it's a lot of questions. It seems like a long novel I'm writing, but if you had the chance to write a Star Wars novel, doesn't matter which canon, what would you write about?
Well,
and
first
why?
off, can I just say, yes, it is a long novel, but I'm sure, Dark Snowy, you put a lot more time and effort into this novel than Chuck Wendig did with the Aftermath trilogy. I will say that.
All right, so
Now,
it's safe to say we were all right within the old canon.
Yeah,
All right, so go ahead. What would be your book?
something with other space. Sorry, I have an obsession with other space.
Dylan, what would be your book?
um,
Mine's gonna be a post Crucible. It's gotta be a post. It can be Sword of the Jedi. It can be something else, but it would have to be post Crucible if I could write one.
mine,
That's what I want to. That's what I want to read about.
mine would be an anthology covering one or two things. Either an anthology of the formation and creation of the 7 lightsaber forms and the Jedi trial.
Wow, that was random.
Well, it's just because I'm like, there are things that I don't know. I'm naturally curious about how things started. Like, one of the reasons I like Dawn of the Jedi so much, because while it left us hanging, it did provide a lot of answers in depth and give us enough so that we can realistically figure out how the Jedi Order started and how they got to where they ended up being when we saw them later in the timeline. So that's what I would write.
I thought you had gone with a legacy.
Hmm.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying
In my
change your
opinion, I would love to write Legacy, but the only people who could do Legacy justice are
Okay.
John Ostrander and
Okay.
Jan Durismo, so
Okay.
I wouldn't touch that.
I get it.
Oh, one more.
Sure.
Dark Snovia.
Well, we also
I'm
have
loving
a
them.
couple more questions.
Yeah, I know. After that,
Bring it.
in your personal opinion, which person do you think has done the most damage to the Star Wars franchise? George Lucas, because although he's the creator of it,
That's
he
true.
he really, you could say he alienated the fans. Then he sold it to Disney, and then they're doing all their sorts of things. If it
That's
weren't,
true.
if
That's true.
it's the cop out answer, but
Yeah.
That's true. I agree with that, Dylan.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, Rick McCollum goes in a second. I know you do.
That was one of the best things about when they announced the sale of Disney. Rick McCullen returns, like, finally. I actually said something else. But
Okay, from Indigo Grimm, his or her first question regarding the new Thrawn trilogy cover art. Would it be better for the movement to buy the new editions or stay the hell away?
Now, I was actually wanted to talk about this as a topic. I saw it was a question. I thought we can address it in the question. For those of you who don't know, we're going to be reprinting the original Thrawn trilogy covers with the cover art.
I haven't even seen what the cover art's going to look like.
They haven't released it yet.
now, if they put a new Legends Thrawn story or something in it, I'm buying them. They're not going to do that. These are just, when they did the reprint, the 20-year one or 20 the silver,
Yeah.
they added a story in there, which I thought was really nice. I bought it.
Yeah, I've been thinking about trying to
But
find
here
that.
they're not going to do that. So what's the point of getting them if you already have them? I wouldn't get
I
them.
would say it's good and bad. It would be good to support them because, again, you're supporting Legends. You're showing them that you're going to put your money in their mouth, is that you're going to buy Legends. Though, I would almost think that while it be a good message to send, it may send the wrong message of, oh, they don't want new books. They just want us to reprint the old books with new covers. And while I would love some of the cover art on some of the novels needs some to be desired, especially like even good novel covers. If you've seen like the Brazil covers, which are coming out right now, or the old Japanese covers, there have been some really amazing covers that I wish.
Remember that that Insider issue where they released all the new Jedi Order
Uh,
covers and they made like wallpaper.
I thought that was beautiful.
They're
And-
beautiful, and I would love to have them, but at the same time, I don't want us promoting it and then it being interpreted as, oh, okay, they just want new covers.
If you don't have them, here's what you should get. You should get that 20th edition, special edition of Heirs of the
It's
Empire.
hard to get now.
Because is it?
It's become
They were selling them on Celebration, and they were selling like hotcakes.
Yeah,
haven't
because they
seen
have
one.
that extra short story in it, so I would buy that one, and then get the other two just regular. With the Legends label, if you want, that's fine. Because like I said, I am fully for buying Legends label stuff.
It
So that's how I would buy it. I'd buy that special edition one because it comes with the extra story, and then buy it too.
and it has that little difference in it.
It won't. Well, yeah, they changed something else on it to streamline the canon. But the thing is though, that if you had those, it won't look pretty on a bookshelf because book one will look different than book 2 or 3. But it's still
And,
the same story.
and if you're getting it in hardcover like I do, they aren't the same size.
If you don't have them, that's what I would do. It doesn't matter if it has a Legends label on it or not. I'm just saying, a reprinted just for an alternate cover.
Well, they
it
did
works
that
with
with.
comic books, but it doesn't work with books.
Remember when they did that with Crucible last year?
Did it have? Oh, well, they changed the cover.
Yeah, they changed the cover.
Yeah, they changed the cover to it, but that's. I don't need it a second copy.
Yeah.
Just for the cover to it.
Second question: if Sword of the Jedi is ever released, do you think any major characters would die in it? If so, who?
Major characters? I'm gonna go with like a major character. I'm assuming either, obviously, like one of the big three, which I don't think would happen, or like any of the major book characters, like people who have been in and survived through.
Dragon.
People who have been like around for a while and survived multiple series and arcs is who I would say. I don't think so.
I agree. I don't think they kill anyone else in Sword of the Jedi.
I think they would save that for like the longer, bigger story arcs.
Yeah, I don't think a short story anyone's gonna die. I mean, if you have Dr. Death for the ending, there could be a chance, but I don't think they'd kill anyone off in that short story. Now, if they did another, book series after Jedi, yeah, you probably would see some more big characters killed off. Actually, in Jedi, I don't think.
Well, there's one character who dies and who just died in. Well,
Are they previously established?
Yeah.
Tell me later. But I can't remember. But anyway, the death toll was catastrophically less. Oh, I know who you're talking about now.
yeah,
Okay. Was that toward the beginning?
yeah, it was.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they did, but the death toll is significantly lower than the other one. So I think they're steering away from the death movement, which is sad because your order is so dark and so.
But again, I mean, they already established it, and even in Legacy of the Force, it was kind of stepping off the gas pedal. But you can use death to really like hammer home, like the how to put this. You can use it to really get. It can be used, but it can be overused as well. And I don't mind, and I would rather them kill characters off when it makes sense for the story, rather than kill characters off for the sake of killing characters off.
Let me change this question. Who do you think would be the next big character? They would kill. Movie or EU? I have an idea.
I have one too.
Yeah.
It hurts my heart to say, but I think they would have
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
It hurts my heart.
Yeah.
They really don't have stories for him, which is sad because he is such an interesting character,
Mhm.
and I love everything that's had a side story in it or that's good about him. I am a huge Lando EU fan, and but I don't. The authors just didn't like using him for some reason, so I thought the best way to give him an arc is to kill him off and to propel the story somewhere else. So I think he would have been the next big one to die, and I would have been very upset.
Yeah.
I think it would be one of two people. it would be either one of the surviving members of Luke's first class of Jedi, or one of the other secondary characters from the Bantam era, like a Talon Card or a Booster Carrick or one of those.
I think they're going to die in peace right off.
Well, I think they would have one of them from either camp was probably going to go soon.
Maybe wasn't Booster pushing 90?
Well, yeah. I mean, it would be kind of like you'd be like a Pelion, where or spoiler, we're like. Well, we talked about
the
this.
thing is, though, they get old and die. But I'm talking like epic death. Anyway, another question.
Last one from Jedi Acolyte 22. What is one Star Wars video game you'd want to see dealing with an EU character? Not counting Star Wars 1313.
A video game we'd like to see an EU character.
I like to see a Mara Jade game. Like sort of a stealth mixed with like Force Unleashed thing going on. But more focused on her being an assassin.
Space Squadron. Aaron Olsen crew. I would love to see a video game because you can tie it into flying X-Wings and other ships.
And
then
commando missions.
And
at
then
the
going
same
on
time.
commando missions, so you can do both. I think that'd make a good game. Plus, those characters, to see them on the video game would be nice. I got you. You can see on your face, you're thinking how awesome that game would be.
I'm thinking, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, it's so sad.
I can't talk about it. What would be yours? What would you like to see?
I'd like to see Yoda Stories too.
A Yoda video game? That would.
Yoda Stories was the warning for the CD-ROM.
What would you like to see?
Oh, it's so tough. Oh, I got it. I'd like to see an Auntie video game because I want a video game where I'm just in that suit eating.
It's like the Rancor part of Star Wars Connect that didn't work. Like everything in Star Wars Connect.
Wow!
Except for, there wasn't I'm Han Solo instead of I'm Jason Derulo, I'm writing Solo. Obviously the best game.
Man, you're asking great questions.
Yeah, that's it for today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got some good shit, man.
Yeah.
It started off rocky, and then all our podcasts actually got saved by the questions. So thank you, everyone who asked questions. Keep asking questions because it gives us content.
Yeah. Anyway, good to have y'all.
Thanks. It's good to be in my own house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good to be in my own house.
It's good to not have to rely.
You've decided to say it, huh?
Yeah.
It's also good not to rely on Comcast all the time.
Yeah. Are we on Comcast?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, show sponsor.